Hello. Welcome to our webcast on how and when to take profits on winning trades. Another installment in a series of live events produced by Trader Planet in collaboration with well-known trading personalities. Today is Thursday, July 15th. We're grateful that you could join us today. This is Darrell, your host for today's session, featuring Darrell Jobman as Senior Analyst for TraderPlanet.com. Today's webcast takes place at a specific date and time, and therefore any opinions given by our presenter may change without notice at any time. Trading involves substantial risk of loss and therefore may not be suitable for all investors, and past performance is not indicative of future results. We are recording this webcast and it will be posted on TraderPlanet.com, so you will be able to review the material at a later time. You will also find previously recorded webcasts among our other free member education resources within our site at www.TraderPlanet.com. As one of our foremost trading educators, Darrell Jobman trades his own personal account and has been involved in the financial markets for more than 40 years. A decorated Vietnam War veteran, he was a newspaper farm editor and editor of several agricultural publications before becoming an editor of Futures magazine for more than 15 years. He has written and edited more than a dozen books and courses on trading. While his passion is helping others succeed by teaching the do's and don'ts of trading, it's his editorial contributions to Trader Planet that have really allowed him to take this objective to a whole new level. We're delighted to have him with us today. Let's all give a warm welcome to Darrell Jobman.
Thank you very much for that introduction again, Darla. First of all, like usual, we like to do a little housekeeping, and the first thing we need to do is, can anyone hear me? So we're going to do an audio check. In the lower left corner, raise a little triangle there indicating a menu. If you can hear me, just click I agree, and that'll put a check mark up in there, and I can tell that the sound is reaching you. Audio is okay. Okay, looks like we got some sound going out there, and reception is okay, so we will move ahead. A couple of other housekeeping types of items. First of all, our data that we're using for the Vantage Point charts that we'll be talking about later is provided by, and secondly, if you are looking on your now, you may want to put your computer on full screen mode when we do get to we're talking about some of the charts and a little more clear where things happen to be. Today's topic that we're going to be talking about is taking profits, and I know I have to be very clear at the beginning that I believe that trading is a lot more about protecting loss and limiting your risk than it is about taking profits. But when you do need to carefully manage a profitable trading position too, just as you would a losing position. So it's not like you can just go out here and, like this gentleman is doing, water a tree, pick dollars off a tree. Maybe your trees are different in your part of the country than where I live, but it's not like doing that. It's not like taking cash out of an ATM. So it is a skill that requires some management as well. Now, the first presumption in this case, of course, is that you got into a position at a good place and a good time, and the market has moved favorably in your direction and is producing profits for your position. Now, the question is, what do you do with those profits? There are two main approaches, and there are probably a number of different offshoots of this as to how they are handled, but two main approaches. First of all, you can set a profit target. You can use a limit order, saying if prices get to that point and hit that order, then you can put that profit in your pocket. You may set that target on the basis of some kind of a chart pattern or dollars, because maybe that's the point of satisfaction for you, that trade returned the amount of money that you were looking for. So there's different ways you can set profit targets, but that's the second one, of course, is you can take profits by setting a stop after it moves up, hits a high, and then from those highs or lows. This is more of a protective type of maneuver, and sometimes you have to play good defense to have some offense, and that's when you want to have a stop in place to protect that position before you start to lose lose too many of the profits, and then you are worried that maybe more right away. So this is kind of the thing you want to do to keep yourself kind of in a position where you can keep the profits that you have, or at least a good share of the profits. You're probably never ever going to get the highs or the lows exactly, but the intent is to attempt to capture as many of those profits as you possibly can. The chart we're going to look at in our example is one that I have used in source that has a good trend. I did purposely because of this nice trend that it has here, and that is USDX futures, USDX. And is look at it. We're not going to dwell a whole lot about this downtrend that we have here, but what we're going to talk about mostly is this nice trend here, and we're going to talk about what we might have done to get a uptrend and then stay with that nice uptrend until it comes to the point where it now appears to have been backing off from there and moving back to the downside. So we're going to assume that we got into a position somewhere around this low vicinity right here at around 74, 75, somewhere in there, and that we're going to be able to ride. This is about a 6-month trend, which is a pretty nice loading for a trend trading type of an approach that we're going to be talking about the world in terms of events and news developments and all the debt issues we have. We have the euro problems, a lot of different things that are occurring every day as we speak. Sometimes it's optimistic, sometimes pessimistic. Day to day, you never know what it's going to be. So all those news and developments what are we about? Things that a lot of those events we really can't say as individual traders that well, I think they're going to be. We're not very good at being able to predict euro. We know that that mean, and the only thing we really have a recourse is to look at points to trade and using the tools that they offer to assess the probabilities of what will happen to reliability. What we really need, I guess, on edge. We need to be in there, and we need to be able to stick with it when we should and get out when we shouldn't. A tool that I have found quite useful for this is analysis software. I need to make it clear I am an analyst and a trader and so forth, but I do not sell a product. I do not receive money for products sold, but I'm a trader with ideas for how to handle the markets as this action unfolds. A couple of things about Vantage Point. It is best. Neural network process identifies the market and then kind of reflects the degree of that influence of those various markets